89.3 FM and BeaverCountyRadio.com. And now, here is the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
Today is going to be a good day. I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to find out stuff from individuals that actually know stuff. We're going to start with Rapping with the Reps, and we're going to change that to Rapping with the Rep. Jim Marshall made it today. This is being live streamed on Facebook. If you've got a question for Jim, you can post it in the comment section of the Facebook. See, what did I just do, Jim? What did I just do?
You just got old, Eddie.
We were going down the hall, and Frank's yammering, whatever Frank yammers, and we both heard, check the Facebook. And we were both mocking him, and now it's in my head.
That's right. It's like that song you just can't get out of your head.
You know what those are called?
No.
Earworms.
Ooh.
That's what that's called. That's all I'm going to contribute knowledge-wise. You're here for the rest.
All right.
All right.
That's a heavy load.
Jim Marshall is the rep for the 14th District. Your election wasn't yesterday, but I know you pay attention to it.
Sure.
You want to talk about what you saw and what jumped out at you yesterday? You've been at this more than a few elections, so you've had time to study multiple yesterdays. What came out of yesterday in your mind?
Well, I mean, it's good to see. First, I want to give credit and thanks to anyone that's a candidate running for office. It's challenging. It's a whole, for incumbents, it's your entire time in office. But when there's a new challenger, you know, that campaign year can be really, it's new, it's difficult, can be heart-wrenching. So kudos to everyone that ran, and congratulations to those that won. It was nice to see that the county commissioners were reelected. I think they've done a great job in Beaver County. We did lose 2 incumbents, and that's hard for the incumbents to handle, I'm sure. But we'll just hope that the newly elected will work together as a team, and we'll keep moving Beaver County forward.
Did anything on the national level surprise you?
I really haven't looked at the national.
Good guy.
I'm focused. Well, this time I'm focused on just what happened in Beaver County, and it's not really what happens on election day. When you're an incumbent, it's not really what you do on election day or where you are or where your signs are. It's really what you did all the way up to that day. It's your actions and your words.
Is it like studying for an exam and election day is when you get your grade back?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
You can go with that.
You got to study. You got to do the work. You have to say the right things, do the right things. And, someone told me a long time ago, they were giving me advice on being a public servant. Mm-hmm. And they said, ultimately, you're going to disappoint someone. And that person's going to tell 10 people. The more people that you disappoint over the years, the more that number grows. And, you can get to some point in time where that group of people outweighs the people that support you. And that could happen. Other times it's just politics. It's just, if there's a certain party that's doing better nationally, better statewide, that could impact local races too.
State Representative Jim Marshall of the 14th District is my guest on today's Rapping with the Reps on Teleforum. I'm Eddie Crow. It's 9:15. You said something I want to back up to. You said an incumbent is always campaigning. Does it really take that?
I think it does. I mean, I'm on a 2-year cycle, so you're always running. The Senate, state Senate's on a 4-year, and of course the county, the row officers, the commissioners are on 4 years. And in that 4-year term, you have to fundraise every year. You have to go out to events and shake hands and engage with people all the time in a positive manner. And you can't, walk past someone every day and not acknowledge them and then
And
know,
that Jim Marshall guy, he's a snob.
Yeah, he won't even say hi to me. And then all of a sudden, oh, it must be an election year. I don't know how many times I've heard that, but it must be an election year.
Well, when you actually talk to somebody?
Yeah, but see, I try to engage all the time.
Yeah.
And keep it positive and be authentic. That's what I tell anybody that's running for office. Just be you. You got to have to be authentic. You can't fake it. You can't mail it in. You got to be a real person.
What's the danger in faking it? Is it people not buying it, or is it keeping track of how many different fakes you've had to pull off?
That's the latter, I think.
Is that it? You can't keep track of the BS?
Yeah, I think that would be the case. I've seen that with other people, but
they're just different people at different times.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that not just a little bit, I don't know, psychotic?
We'll see.
I like that. Maybe, maybe not. Please give me a demonstration of the skill set needed. You said with your job, you're going to disappoint someone. I come up to you on the street, we engage. I don't think you're a snob because we engage. And I say, you disappointed big time in whatever issue. How do you respond to that?
I would say, first off, you're right. I mean, I would own it.
Okay.
You can't just say,
I did what I did.
I did what I did. And generally, I would say it's because I've talked to a majority of people that I represent. This is the information I gathered from those conversations, and I supported this side of the issue because not that I believed maybe that it was the way to go, but because the stakeholders, the people, like if it's a towing issue and the tow truck drivers are telling me this and the first responders are telling me something, I'm out there collecting information to make a decision that I believe the majority of people would agree with. And when you do that, every decision you make, every vote you make, you are going to satisfy someone and disappoint someone else. When you engage, and you should engage, you shouldn't avoid people that you disappoint. You engage with them and say why you did it. And generally they would say, well, I respect him or her for that. They did tell me why they felt that way. I don't agree with them, but at least I know that they felt they did the right thing.
What percentage of your constituency would find that something to be respectful? And what percent, well, maybe not your constituency, but the general public, how many people are going to say, all right, I don't agree with you, but you owned it, versus, well, I don't care, you still do. You've got to run into that.
I do, but there's a handful that you just never
Are
can
they the
satisfy.
same people?
They can be.
Okay. I'm not telling you to name names, but if you see one certain person, it's like, oh, I'm not going to enjoy this. Yeah?
Yeah, they can be. And it's funny. It's sometimes, well, if you go to a local municipal meeting, the same people show up, and people usually don't show up to meetings to say what a great job the municipality is doing or whatever. They just come to.
They got an issue.
But it's good to. That's how you engage. That's how it should be. That's how government should be. It is the people's government. People should have an opinion, and we should listen to the opinion.
Do less people in Harrisburg have that opinion that you just gave than they used to? That it's you're a conduit of the voice of the people you represent?
Yeah, I think more and more as I'm looking around, other elected officials are more looking down at their handheld device, so it's hard to say what they're really thinking, to tell you the truth.
What do you mean? They're just really?
Well,
in class?
In class, yeah. It's there's no. I guess there's no penalty for being socially engaged all the time. Maybe they're just doing emails on their phones.
Maybe they are working.
That's
yes,
right.
They're not watching.
Sure.
Watching kitty videos at all. Jim Marshall of the 14th District is my guest today on Rapping with the Reps. Which is harder, campaigning or legislating?
Wow, that's good.
I looked up from my phone to ask.
Yeah,
that.
That's good. I think campaigning's harder because it gets personal. It's hard. I can remember, seeing mailers against me that, were less than attractive in what they said and what they showed. But one of my favorites, I wish I would have had, I was going to get a T-shirt made, but a candidate or an opponent said that I was a wrecking ball.
You are a wrecking ball?
A wrecking ball. And that was before the song, actually. But there was a picture of a crane with a wrecking ball on it. I'm like, I love it. I'm going to get T-shirts made. I am a wrecking ball.
I'd have bought one of those T-shirts. Just
maybe I can find that and do a vintage wrecking ball T-shirt.
It's got to be out there somewhere. I'll pay you $25. That's the going rate for a T-shirt these days, at least.
Okay.
I'm in for the wrecking ball.
All right.
Do you believe that getting personal and nasty draws votes? Because I'm thinking about, I don't know if you saw last night's debate. Nikki Haley.
There was a debate?
Yes, there was. Sorta. Vivek Ramaswamy almost got his butt whipped by Nikki Haley at one point. Nasty, personal, family stuff. Do you think that is as viable a strategy as it was 5-10 years ago?
I don't think so. I really don't like going negative like that. But I would say that there's an old saying, like test your mettle. That does test your mettle when somebody is slamming you, especially live.
In front of millions of people.
You really have to be able to keep your cool and just, try to find some way to defend that. And usually you would start out by saying something like, well, there's really no reason to go negative here.
You would point out the negative in a calm manner.
And then I would say, let's talk about, why don't you tell me what you can do and how you can do it better instead of trying to say negative things about how I might be doing it.
Meanwhile, the other person's volume is just going up and up and up and up.
Yeah, I've seen some ugly ones, that's for sure.
Have you seen do the ugliest ones happen in public, or are there knockdown dragouts in offices that we never hear about?
No, I would say that the ugly ones are really in the campaign, and I think there's consultants that plan how ugly they can get. I mean, I think that there's some artists that do really well at planning getting nasty in campaigns. And I mean, that's happened for 100 years. I mean, or more. It's not new. It's just out there more because everybody has access to it.
Is there no off limits now?
I hope there's off limits. I mean, I really do. I think it does get too personal. And let's just start talking about the merits of the candidate and not dig into, personal issues. And there's really no need to get violently offensive with people.
Jim Marshall is my guest. How do you balance being calm and rational and honest with the fact that it's a show, it's a spectacle, and fist fights, nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. A screaming match will attract a crowd.
That's true.
How do you balance between those two things?
I don't know. I'm naturally calm. I'm blessed with calmness.
I would like to see you angry. I would, just to see what it is, because I've never.
I think we talked about this last month.
Yeah.
Like, here's my angry face.
That's my waking up face.
Yeah.
You can see his anger face on the Facebook feed.
On the Facebook.
Now.
Yeah.
Do it
follow us on the Facebook.
The Facebook.
Yeah, I'm just naturally calm. I'm really blessed with that. One of my opponents called me it wasn't Sleeping Jim, but I think it was Rip Van Marshall. Somebody said, "Oh, it's Rip Van Marshall."
I had to put that on the back of the T-shirt.
Why not?
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's not.
What's the old saying? If you can keep your head while those around you are losing theirs, I would think that would be a really good thing to have and have demonstrated while you're campaigning. Do people have you ever heard that? You seem so calm, and you do. Calm and rational, never raise your voice. Do people recognize that as a positive, or do they recognize that as a lack of passion and you need to get fired up for the spectacle?
It's half and half. I mean, some people run to the microphone and, some are really good. I mean, it's great to see somebody that's really well spoken. Mm-hmm. But it's important to be able to sit back and listen too.
Jim Marshall is my guest after the news, and I don't know very much about what's about to happen. I know that you've got a seriously major announcement. Is that correct?
Oh, I think...
Ooh, that was a stunned face. Do that one, too.
I'm shocked.
Hey,
we'll talk about it after the break.
Yes, we will. The after SAG strike is over. That face, that'll get you work in the movies. That's your surprise face. Now show everybody your ticked off face because, oh my God. More with Jim Marshall, a major announcement. I don't know what face he's going to use. It's after news.
Who knows?
On Beaver County Radio.
You're tuned in to the multimedia presentation, Rappin' with the Reps. Call 724-843-1888 or 724-774-1888 to rap with your representatives. You can also participate by posting comments or questions in the Facebook Live video feed. Today's show is brought to you by the Laughlin Insurance Agency and Beaver Valley Auto Mall. Click BeaverValleyCars.com. And now it's your chance to rap with the reps right here on Beaver County Radio, Facebook Live, and the Beaver County Radio online audio stream.
Hey, how would you like to have a little extra cash to sock away this time of the year? Or how about Christmas cash for your stocking? This is Cindy Hiladio from Friendly Federal Credit Union. Well, whether you wear socks or stockings, we will have you dancing on your tippy toes in that footwear with our holiday loan special. Borrow up to $3,000 for 30 months from just 3.99%. Available for a limited time with approved credit. You can also help others fill their Christmas stockings too, because donations are now being accepted at Friendly Federal Credit Union for the annual Women's Center of Beaver County campaign. It's time to sock away the Christmas cash and fill the stockings at your house and for others who need your help. Click friendlyfcu.org, member NCUA, equal housing lender.
Friendly Federal Credit Union, you got a friend.
Hi, folks. I'm with our good friend John Diagardi from Roe Monument. John, you were telling me earlier that people really should not rush into choosing a memorial for their loved one. Now, why is that?
We found that families need to take ample time to grieve first. Grief is not something that we get over, but rather something that we learn to live with. So the length of time to grieve varies from person to person.
You mentioned that the monument can't be placed right away.
That's right. There are certain things that need to take place before a monument can be installed. So it's really worth taking time to think about how to plan and design a memorial that truly reflects a person's life. It's actually a healing activity that helps to alleviate grief.
John, this makes a lot of sense.
It does. And when the time is right to proceed, not only can Roe Monument help families choose and design their memorial, we can help them save as much as 50% by eliminating the middleman.
Thank you, John. Folks, you can learn more simply by visiting RoeMonuments.com.
In these unprecedented times, staying informed with accurate information is a necessity, especially in an emergency. Believe it or not, the power to stay informed and be aware of important news alerts in your area is right at your fingertips. Beaver County Emergency Services urges you to sign up for instant mobile message alerts today. It's quick and easy, and once you enroll, Amber Alerts, weather emergencies, and many valuable safety warning and important news bulletin updates will arrive as text messages in your cell phone. Sign up now by visiting beavercountypa.gov. It's free, and it could be a lifesaver for you or somebody else in trouble. Put your fingertips to work and turn your phone into an instant notification alert device. Beaver County Emergency Services, along with other partner organizations, is pleased to make instant notifications available to you. So sign up today.
Beaver County Radio's news source, 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
Good morning on this Thursday, November 9th, 2023. The Beaver County weather forecast is calling for mostly cloudy skies today with decreasing temperatures throughout the afternoon. Our morning high will be around 63, but by afternoon we'll be looking at a temperature of 54 degrees. We'll go over the full details of your weather forecast following this look at news. The Pennsylvania Department of Education has released the results from last year's school assessments across the Commonwealth, and the numbers show a slight increase in subject proficiencies. English language arts proficiency is up to 54.5% in 2023, up 0.4% from the year prior. Math and science have increased higher as well, with the former up 2.6 to 38.3%, and the latter up 4.5% to a rating of 58.9% this year. These numbers were compiled from data taken from the state-level assessments given to students grades 3 through 12, including the Pennsylvania System of School Assessment, known as the PSSA, the Pennsylvania Alternate System of Assessment, known as the PASA, and Keystone exams. On Wednesday, AAA East Central announced winners of Platinum, Gold, and Silver awards for police departments who are recognized for their efforts to keep the roadways in their communities safe. Throughout Western Pennsylvania, 63 police departments were awarded Platinum awards, while 25 departments won Gold or Silver awards. Locally, Platinum Award police departments include Beaver, Cranberry Township, Hopewell, New Brighton, New Swickley, and Rochester. The Troop D Division of the Pennsylvania State Police was also awarded with a Platinum status. Additionally, a Gold Award was given to the University of Pittsburgh Police Department, and the police departments of Aliquippa and Beaver Falls each received Silver awards. Those who shop at the Walmart Supercenter and Economy may notice some changes the next time they walk into the facility. That's because the store, along with over 1,400 stores across the United States, have been upgraded, remodeled, or renovated in a $500 million incentive by the company. The recent reopening of the Economy Walmart came complete with a ribbon-cutting ceremony, Gia James from Central Valley School Board District singing the national anthem, and a performance from the Ambridge Middle School Band. Along with the reopening of the Supercenter, store manager Chris Glass also announced that $5,000 in grants will be awarded to nonprofit organizations, including $1,500 to the Aliquippa Diversity Council and the Ambridge Middle School, and $1,000 each to the Beaver County Rehabilitation Center and the Economy Police Department. Democrat Tamika Lane has won a race for the statewide Superior Court in Pennsylvania. Lane's victory in Tuesday's election came as vote counting wound down Wednesday. Lane's victory gives Democrats a sweep of 4 statewide judicial races this year, including an open seat on the state's highest court. Dan McCaffrey was victorious in the race for state Supreme Court, preserving a strong Democratic majority on the panel. On the lower statewide appellate courts, lawyer Jill Beck of Pittsburgh joined Lane in winning an open seat on Superior Court. Philadelphia Municipal Court Judge Matt Wolf won a seat on Commonwealth Court. After voters in Ohio approved a constitutional amendment protecting the right to abortion and other forms of reproductive health care, advocates in at least a dozen states are hoping to take abortion questions to voters in 2024. Moves to enshrine reproductive rights are already set for the ballot in Maryland and New York. Voters in states including Florida, Missouri, and South Dakota could be asked to roll back existing restrictions. Voters in Iowa and Pennsylvania might be asked to restrict access. And there are efforts to get both protections and restrictions on the ballot in Colorado. Ohio on Tuesday became the 7th state where voters have opted to protect abortion access over the past year. And People magazine has named Patrick Dempsey as its sexiest man alive. The actor and race car driver takes the mantle from Captain America star Chris Evans, who was 2022's selection. The pick was announced Tuesday on Jimmy Kimmel Live. The Grey's Anatomy star joked to people that he's always been the bridesmaid in the selection process, but also said he hadn't thought he'd be considered. Dempsey stars in the upcoming Michael Mann film Ferrari. The 57-year-old told the Associated Press last year that he did all the driving himself, calling it the best role I've ever had. The People edition with Dempsey's cover story will be out tomorrow.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Mostly cloudy skies today with temperatures steadily dropping throughout the day today. By evening, we should be at 54 degrees. Cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 42. Partly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 55 degrees. Mostly cloudy Saturday with a high of 49. And for Sunday, partly cloudy skies and a high of 48 degrees. That's a look at news for now. I'm Matt Durzik for Beaver County Radio News, 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and streaming worldwide at beavercountyradio.com.
Where the listeners of Beaver County have a voice. Teleforum with Eddie Crow, 724-843-1888, 724-774-1888.
It's Teleforum. It's Rapping with the Reps today, singular. Jim Marshall of the 14th District. I think Josh Kale felt bad Jim, because I texted Josh and said, hey, you going to be here? And he can't. He's doing a veterans breakfast this morning. But I think he felt bad because right after he told me he couldn't, he sent me an invitation to his Christmas party.
Yeah, he has a great house and great Christmas party. So
yeah, it's no problem at all. And as it turned out, probably just as well, Jim Marshall of the 14th District. Here's what I know. I know you've got a major announcement to make, and I'm just going to sit back and let you make the announcement, and then I'm going to probably pester you with questions about it. I don't know what it is.
okay.
The floor is yours.
Well, I've always thought about how long am I going to be in office? How many times am I going to run? And I will be state representative next year, but I won't be on the ballot. I'm not seeking another term, so I'm going to finish out at the end of next year. That's a stunned look, Eddie.
Really?
Yeah, so I haven't really I just did publicly announce it.
Oh, it's out there now.
On
So-
Facebook and on your stream.
The Facebook.
But yeah, it's something my family and I have thought about every election cycle. What are we going to do? Is we're going for another run? And I've talked to other members that have decided not to run, and how do you make that decision? And a lot of them said, you know when you're ready, and I know, so I won't be running again.
What made you know?
It's complex. I mean, it's a lot of things. It's when you see.
You've done this since 2007? Six. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's in a 2-year cycle, like you said, you're always running, you're always engaged. It's a marathon, and you have to be on top of it. You have to fundraise to be able to get your message out. You have to get a team to help you. You have to be engaged. You really do. It's every day, and it's really hard to explain. Last year I thought, maybe it's time, and I felt like there was some things I'd still like to accomplish. And you just know, and it's just a feeling. I feel, you can feel somewhat relieved about it, that you're not carrying that undecided decision.
Right.
And so now it's out there. I'm ready. I'm going to still, like I said, I'll still be state representative for another year. There's still work to do. I still really enjoy co-chairing a committee with my friend and colleague Rob Matsey from Beaver County.
Mm-hmm. Ambridge.
And we will we'll still work together to get the business done. And I look forward to that. And it's time.
All right. Well, that's breaking news for sure. Jim Marshall's not going to seek re-election. You said that there's a sense of relief in deciding this, or saying it out loud.
Saying it out loud. Yeah, because there's people that I've talked to outside of my family circle that this is something I'm considering, and but this day, because I always said, well, when I do decide, it's going to be with Eddie Crow.
No, quit.
So I'm glad to have the conversation with you on the radio.
I'm very honored that you chose us to come in and let us know what's going on. All right, here come the questions. You ready?
Sure.
What are you going to do?
Oh,
just retire, hang out? You've got at least one grandchild, don't you?
I have two. Love them. I get to see them. We're blessed that they live really close. Get to see them almost every day. Mm-hmm. My mom's still living. A caretaker for her. There's a lot of things that I can do in the family, but I have a year to ponder on what I'm going to do after that. So I'm going to stay focused on state representative for another year, and then I'm not ready to retire. I still think that I can participate in some manner, and I've made a lot of contacts in the years in office, and certain that I will find something to do that would be helpful to Beaver County, but
So
that's a year off.
All right. So you're not talking. Is it feasible that 3-4 years down the road, I look up and Jim Marshall's running for county council? He's running for borough, this, that, or the other. Is that something that you can even envision?
Anything's possible, I would say.
Okay. What do you think the reaction is going to be in Harrisburg?
You know, I think it's funny. I think there's going to be some people that might actually be disappointed because as a team, Rob Matzey and I do get a lot of things done. But I know there's a list of members that have less seniority than me that they're checking me off and they're moving up one because it's just part of being in the House of Representatives. It's a seniority driven. To be a chairman, you have to be in the top 25 or so seniority. So someone's checking me off right now, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. I don't take it personally.
So there are people right now eyeballing your office saying, I want the stapler.
They want the office.
They want the
for
office.
Sure,
They want
because
the stapler.
I'm in a building that's pretty exclusive, I would say, and there's definitely a waiting list to get in there.
How long did it take from seriously considering it to coming here today? What was the process and who was involved in the process?
My wife and I. That's the process.
Okay.
I don't know. We talk about it pretty often, but I don't know if it's been. I'd say a couple of months that we've been seriously talking about it. So,
And you
it's
said
good.
that the last election it popped into your head, but it wasn't serious conversation yet.
Yeah, I would say part of it was for 12 years I sat on the House floor with the same row mates, and everyone in my row left, and I was like, uh-oh, what did I do? But they just got to the point where they weren't ready to run again, and so that was change. I'm like, can I handle this change? What am I going to do now? So I just moved to another row, and it worked out. So I have new friends in that row, but you know,
It's like going to school and there's people leaving that you know, and there are new people coming in, kind of?
yeah, kind of. And I really don't know a lot of the new people. There's so many. You know, people always say, "Oh, we need term limits because we need change." There has been so much change in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, especially in the last 10 years. There's people I'm like, wow, who is that? It's a new person.
How much freer a tongue do you have knowing that, I don't want to say you burn bridges, but how much freer a tongue do you have knowing that you're not going to have to run for re-election because of today's announcement?
I hope not any freer of tongue, because I would hate to say something, out of turn. But it reminds me, when you said that, I was saying that someone had said, "Let the bridges I burn light my path." And I know someone like that. I don't want to be that person.
You don't want to be that person?
No, I'm not going to, ever burn bridges or ever dissolve friendships because I'm not state representative, because I'm still Jim. I'm still the guy that got elected originally.
Jim Marshall got elected originally 2006?
Yes.
Okay. The announcement this morning that the rep for the 14th district is not going to seek re-election next year. That was the big announcement, and absolutely it was the big announcement. Do you feel better about governance than you did in 2006? Do you feel worse? Is it a mixed bag?
I know more about it, when I came in, and that's the great part about the representation in Pennsylvania is you come in just as a citizen and participate in government, and it was good. I was in the minority for 8 years and really didn't know that it was different. We got in the majority, and you get to partake in the decisions a little more in the majority, but I think there's a little more freedom in voting in the minority. You don't have to be lockstep with with the majority on to get bills passed. You know, I think there's you can be a little more free and vote with what you think the district wants.
Is bipartisan working together, you know, meeting in the middle of the bridge, more common or less common now than it was in 2006?
It's less common because
Less?
I was sitting down. I often compare things with what I remember in my childhood, and there was a cartoon, and you know, in the old days you could learn a lot from cartoons, but one of my favorites, there was a sheepdog named Sam and a wolf named Ralph, and they actually punched a clock. There was a
Showed up to work
time
every
clock
day.
on the
Morning,
tree.
Ralph.
Yeah, morning Ralph,
Morning,
morning
Ralph.
Sam, and then they were, you know, they were wolf and sheepdog for 8 hours.
Yes.
And then they punched the clock and said, "Have a good night. You know, see you tomorrow."
Good night, Ralph.
Yeah, that's how it used to be, really, in the house. And with a lot of my friends from especially the Southwest were Democrats, because back when I came in, there were very few Republicans in the Southwest. And now it's flipped. And I think in the Southwest Republican caucus, I think there's like 29 members. So when I first came in, there were, I think, 4 of us that were Republicans from this region. So it's, you know, my older friends, a lot of Democrats, and it was more friendly, I would say, back then. But, you know, there's still bright lights. You know, there's still,
How often do the bright lights, how often are they allowed to shine, and how often are they muffled by the process? The lockstep that you talk about sometimes has to happen.
oh, the bright ones find a way.
Do
I
they?
mean, especially, we're blessed in Beaver County. Josh Kale is up and coming, a rising star. I have so much respect for him, and his he's a strong person, and he's well spoken. And Rob Matzey's like my brother. A lot of respect for him.
My mind is just spinning with different things I want to ask you, and I can't slow them down.
We'll write them down, and we'll catch up next month.
Well, you come by anytime you want.
Okay.
Okay. Announced a little bit earlier, Jim Marshall will not seek re-election. What are you going to do?
Like I said, Eddie, I got to ponder that. I'm focused on another year, still working, still in the office, still making a difference.
Yeah, but you're kind of analytical. You're not going to finish your last day in office and then wake up the next day and go, all right, now let's sort out how I'm going to spend my time. You can't be that haphazard, and you couldn't be that haphazard since 2006. You're going to have something planned. Want to do a talk show?
Yeah, probably not. I think you do such a great job at it.
You know what?
I'll do something. I
Okay.
know I'll be making decisions 6 months from now, 8 months from now. I'm just collecting information right now. I just had 3 orders for T-shirts on my phone. That might be the next gig.
There's your gig right there, man.
I know a guy.
I can help you out with that. I got fired from a T-shirt shop a long time ago. When you look back after this is done, after this year and a year or two to make T-shirts, when you look back and somebody says, what's the best thing that you did in Harrisburg? What's the best thing that you were involved in?
You know, I really hadn't thought about reflecting on, legislation for sure. I mean, you know, you can help. Constituent service is important, you know, and I can remember a young man away at college that his car was stolen, lost his wallet, needed ID to fly home for Thanksgiving. And, you know, my office was really significant in getting him home for Thanksgiving. Those are great. But, you know, legislation, it continues. I'm proud to have been part of a Down syndrome awareness bill that let families make an informed decision when they have an infant diagnosed with Down syndrome.
Okay.
And that bill meant a lot to me. We had families with Down syndrome children at the bill signing. The children signed the bill with with Governor Corbett at the time. And then I have that signed bill framed with those children's name on it. That really meant a lot to me.
What's your biggest disappointment? Assuming nothing goes sideways in your last year, what's the biggest thing you said, we could have done that better and we didn't, and dang it?
Oh, I can't really think of, I really can't think of anything that's been disappointing. It's, I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay. What should I have asked you that I didn't ask you today? And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for thinking of us when you wanted to go ahead and make the announcement public.
Well,
it means a ton. But what should I have asked you that I didn't?
I think you covered it, Eddie. You did a great job. And, this is media. This is Beaver County media right here. So thank you.
You want to do a talk show? Come on, man, an hour.
You could make me an offer.
Right. You can say that now, can't you? You're not running for re-election.
Say that.
Representative Marshall, absolute honor for you to come in and share this information with us. And I want to say good luck in the future and future endeavors. I'm going to get you in here from time to time just to get you in here to talk to you.
I'm still a rep, and we're still rapping, buddy.
He said it better than I did. I'm going to shut up right now.
It's always the right time to shop the Hopewell Shopping Center, no matter what the season, no matter what the reason. It's truly your neighborhood shopping place with such a large variety of businesses that offer food, shopping, fine dining and quick serving restaurants, personal services, and recreation. The Hopewell Shopping Center will be your one stop for everything you need whenever you need it. Just click on beavercountyradio.com, the Hopewell Shopping Center merchant directory, for a complete look of merchants today, and get shopping at your neighborhood shopping place, the Hopewell Shopping Center.
99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and BeaverCountyRadio.com is your home for Geneva College Golden Tornado football. Tune in Saturday as Geneva closes out their season with a trip to Westminster against the Titans. Coverage on Beaver County Radio begins at 12:30 and kickoff is at 1. Geneva football is being brought to you by Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, East Rochester and Tusca Shop and Saves, the True Value Hardware inside East Rochester Shop and Save, Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, Fry Transportation, AK Nahas Furniture and Appliance Center, the law offices of Dylan McCandless, King, Coulter, and Graham, Geneva College, the Beaver Falls Athletic Department, and Beaver County Radio.
Tune into the Coach's Corner on Beaver County Radio every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. You can tune in by turning your radio dial to Beaver County Radio or by clicking the audio streaming apps on your phone or computer. You can also watch the video stream of the show on Facebook Live or on our YouTube channel. The Coach's Corner is being brought to you by Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technical Center, Falcones Moon Township Ford, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter J. Montini, Goldberg, Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, Geneva College, Carver Construction, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, McGee